Good morning, good morning, good morning. How are you? Happy Saturday. I'm coming in early because that's what we have been doing, and I'm always up around this time anyway. But I wanted to check in because it is Saturday morning, and I wanted to talk with you about boundaries. Even on a Saturday morning, and you may be up, the routine is still setting the same, but what do? We still get up, but we can move that routine differently. So let's get it started. My name is Keisha Mason Campbell. I am the author of Not Your Journey to Take, and I teach women that no is a complete sentence, and I show them how to establish healthy boundaries while putting their needs first. Good morning, LB. Yes, happy Seduce Him Saturday. Okay. So good morning, good morning. I want to welcome everyone for watching me live and watching the replay. And I wanted to hop on this morning so that we can continue to talk about boundaries. Today is Saturday. It's early in the morning. Because of our routine, we're up doing what we normally do. But because of our boundaries that we should have, we should learn how to be still. And in that being still, there's that no. There's that putting you first and establishing those boundaries. Because just because I'm up and this is my norm doesn't mean I need to be doing anything for anybody else. What it does mean is that I should be taking some time for me, right? As I get up early in the morning, as I read, as I have my time with myself, whether I'm reading my devotionals, reading my Bible, praying, or just sitting in it, just because I can and I want to. Doesn't mean I have to share that time with anybody else or give somebody else that time because I am available. I'm available for me. It is Saturday, right? It is Saturday. Take time for you today, whether it's a few moments, a few minutes, a few hours, and sit in it to do absolutely nothing. Why? Because you can. When we learn to establish healthy boundaries, you learn to put you first. And you learn what it is to be healthy and saying no and not being malice or mean, but you're saying no to them because you're saying yes to you because you just want to sit in it. You know how good that feels sometimes to just sit in it? I know right now the weather is a little off, but if there's a specific place that you like to go, it doesn't have to cost you anything. It doesn't have to, be anything that's super big. It can be something that you enjoy doing. Me personally, I love the beach. So for me, an early morning like this, on a good summer's day or a good spring day, on a Saturday, I could be packing up my beach chair, my water bottle, a book, and I got the beach chair that has the cover on top, right? So as the sun comes out, I'm not getting any sunburn or anything. I'm just enjoying my time sitting at the beach. That's one of my favorite places. That's one of my go-tos. What are some of your go-tos? You can put it in the comments. And let me know what are some of your go-tos. When it comes to having some me time, finding yourself, chilling by yourself, thinking, journaling, reading, or doing absolutely nothing. How do you sit in that space? What do you do to sit in that space? When you have boundaries, healthy boundaries, you'll learn how to sit in that space. Today is Saturday morning. No lipstick. Of course, I have on the glasses, right? Not dressed for work, right? Have on a pajama top because I can. It's Saturday. I'm up because I'm normally up. However, I'm up, but I don't have to do anything because I don't want to do anything. Doesn't mean that I won't be there for you, I don't care for you, or that I can't do something for you or help you out in any way that I can. Just not right now. Not this morning, just because I'm available. But when I can, I will, and I will give you that yes. But that's going to be on my terms. That's where boundaries come in. Learning to say no and sit in that. It's okay. Everybody isn't going to like it. Everybody isn't going to receive that. Why? Because you're telling them no, and they want or need something from you. So understand that no is a complete sentence. It's not meant to be hurtful or harmful. It's not meant to be hurtful or harmful. It's not meant to take anything away from anyone. What it is meant to do is to put you first. What it is meant to do is to help you establish those boundaries. That's what that no means. That no doesn't mean, oh, I'm being mean, I'm being malice, I just don't want to. Or, I know you need it, but I'm not showing up for you. That's not what that no means. That's not what healthy boundaries mean. But some people, and understand this, your no to them is you not showing up for them. But that's not what that means. That no to them from you means you're showing up for you. And I can't be there for you right now. But when I can, I'll let you know. And that should be respected, and that should be okay. But when you begin this journey and begin this process, it won't be okay. You're going to have those funny feelings in your stomach. You're going to feel like, oh, wow, maybe I shoulda, coulda, wouldas. You're going to second guess yourself. You're going to wonder, should I have said that no? Or I could have said yes and rearranged my schedule to accommodate you. Why? And not your journey to take early morning sip and chat on a Saturday morning. Sit in it and do nothing for about an hour, 30 minutes, 15 minutes, 5 minutes, whatever you can give yourself. Sit in it. And if you don't want to lose track of time, we all got these super great cell phones that are computers in our hand. And just like a regular watch, set a timer. Set a timer for yourself and just sit in it. And when I say sit in it, I mean just sit in whatever it is that you want to do or don't want to do, right? Just sit in your no. Sit in your boundaries. Go to a space or a place that makes you feel comfortable, that makes you feel peaceful, gives you a chance to regroup. Setting healthy boundaries, putting yourself first, and learning that no is a complete sentence will absolutely help you with that. Absolutely. This is Saturday morning. We're going to have a super fantastic day on purpose. I'm grateful and thankful that you joined me live and that you're watching the replay. Either way, I'm appreciative. And put in the comments on this Saturday morning, what are you going to do today to sit in it and not do nothing but show up for yourself? And as you show up for yourself, what are you going to do that? That can be absolutely nothing. That can be sitting, watching TV. That can be getting out and going somewhere, to the gym, to the beach. It's about 4:30 right now, so not a lot of places are open. But if so, you have your local gas stations that sell coffee, 7-Elevens that sell coffee, if that's something that you want to do. There it is. LB is going to the mountain, right? She's getting ready to get that workout in. Going to the mountain. Why not? Because you can. And it's for you. Ultimately, whatever you do, make it for you and on purpose. You have to always find time for yourself. You have to always find time to sit in it for yourself. Because you can't show up for other people if you haven't shown up for yourself. I can't be there for you if I'm not there for me. That's right, solo LB. You have to. If you can learn how to love yourself, take care of yourself, right? Put yourself first in many things, if not all things. That way you can show up for other people. You can always show up for other people when you are healthy, when you are in a good space, when you're in a good place. And you show up for them out of love. When you show up for somebody else out of love and peace, when you show up for them out of love and peace, your responses will be so much different than they are when you're just showing up out of obligation, or because I have to, or because you're asking me to. When you show up out of love and peace, that puts you in a different space and in a different place. And you will show up and do the right thing and say the right thing. Good morning, Artie and Takora. Thank you for coming. You will show up in a good space and in a good place if you do it out of love. Love and kindness. Not out of obligation. Not because you asked me. Because when you do that, sometimes you show up out of frustration. You show up out of anger. You show up out of obligation. And then whatever that task is that you're doing, you're not doing it out of love. And it won't show up the same. Right? It won't show up the same. Remember, you have to take care of you first. And this is my go-to. If you've ever been on a plane or watch a movie where a plane plays a part in it, the flight attendant says what? When the cabin loses pressure, the oxygen mask will fall, and you have to put your mask on first before you can help anybody else. In life, it's the same thing. You have to take care of you first. You have to put you first. What do you want to do? What are your dreams? What are you looking forward to? What is life setting up for you that you want to go get? But in the meantime, you're telling everybody else yes. You're saying okay to everybody else, but you haven't set yourself up for success. You haven't set yourself in a space and in a place where you can show up, be happy, be loving, be kind. And when you're saying yes, it's because you want to. It's because you want to. Not because you have to. Not out of obligation. Not because, you're asking me and I don't have anything to do, so I'm going to show up for you. No. Take care of you first. Put yourself first. Establish healthy boundaries. And learn that no is a complete sentence. Everybody isn't going to like your no. Everybody isn't going to accept that no. Everybody isn't going to sit in that no, because some people, please believe me, will take offense to your no, as if you've done something to them just because you're putting you first. I'm going to say that one again. People will get upset with your no, as if you've done something to them, and you haven't. You're doing something for you by putting you first. And a lot of times people don't understand that. They want to hear a yes because they're coming to you because they're asking something of you and expecting you to do it. And you probably do. You probably normally do it all the time. That's why the expectation is there. But sometimes you can say no. They may not like it, but they will respect it in the end. And not only will they respect it, if you say it enough, and not out of malice and not out of being mean, but if you're in a place of putting yourself first and you're telling them no enough, they will receive that. And you know what? They will begin to do it. They will begin to say, you know what? That's okay for me to say no. I understand why he or she is saying no to me. I get it. You know what? Let me start saying no sometimes. I don't have to show up 100% all the time for everybody else and 0% for me. It's not a good balance. It's not a good look. Nor is it healthy. Rest is great. And to quote the marketing mogul, Dr. Shamika Dean, rest is the new revenue. Rest is the new revenue. So you can't work on fumes, making all things happen, and you're not having any rest. And in that rest is sometimes you have to tell people no. Not for any specific reason, not because you have something else planned, not because you have something else going on. You're just saying no for you. You're just saying no for you. And that's okay. That's okay. You have to learn how to put you first. And I'm going to quote another one. This is from the infamous LB. Clarity saves and confusion causes. So if you're not understanding what it is that you want to do for yourself and how you're looking out for yourself and how you're taking care of yourself, if you're confused about that, then you will always be showing up for other people on fumes, out of obligation, because you feel like you need to, because you feel like you have to, because you feel like I am obligated and I have to do this for these people, this person. You don't. When you're setting boundaries, you can set boundaries with everyone, your spouse, your children, your parents, your friends, your family members. Doesn't matter. And all of that, as long as you're putting you first, all things will be okay thereafter. Because the decisions that you make, you'll be making those decisions out of love and out of kindness. And you will welcome whatever it is you're doing for other people. Because at this point, you will be okay. Because you have put you first. You have set those boundaries. You're implementing those boundaries. And you're learning that no is a complete sentence. That is my absolute favorite. My absolute favorite. And I'm not saying that no is a complete sentence again, and I repeat this all the time. You're not being malice. You're not being a bully. You're not being angry. You're not just saying no because you just want to be mean to someone. No, that's not what it is. Saying no to them means saying yes to you about something else. And when you are available, and when you have the time, and when you can, then you show up. If somebody asks something of you and you're okay with it, you're not taking care of you at the time, you're not having any me time, whether you're sitting, reading, sitting at the beach, sitting at the coffee shop, or just sitting at home, doing absolutely nothing. That's absolutely okay. And your no to somebody else is just saying yes to you. It's not being mean to them. And yeah, they may need it. They may want it. But you know what? Maybe they can do it themselves. Or maybe they can ask somebody else this time. And come to you the next time. And maybe the next time you will be readily available. But you don't always have to be readily available. And this is Saturday morning. I'm going to give you one of the tips that I use. When that phone rings, you don't always have to answer it. And to ensure that that happens, what I do, I don't carry my phone around with me. I don't always have my phone on my hip, especially if I'm at home. My phone could be anywhere in this house. And I don't worry about it. And when I go to use the phone, then I got to find it and I'll go to use it. If I've missed your call, hopefully you sent me a text message and I'll respond when I can. So I'm just sharing that with you because that's something that you can take away. You don't have to be connected to that phone. You don't have to answer that phone on the first ring. You don't have to respond to that text message immediately. But to ensure that to ensure that that does not happen, tongue twister, right? To ensure that that does not happen, set your phone down and walk away. Set your phone down and walk away. When you come back, the phone will still be there. If the phone is dead, charge it up. Whatever you missed, it'll be there. Anything that requires your attention, respond. But you don't have to respond immediately. And so many people have their phone attached to their hip, right? You can't see me put my hand on my hip, but so many people have their phone attached to their hip. And every time it rings, they're like this. Let me respond. No, you don't have to do that. That is not a requirement. That is not a requirement. And I'm saying that because, again, when you're putting yourself first, you don't have to immediately jump to everybody else because they reach out, because they call, because they text. You don't always have to respond immediately. To ensure that you don't, set your phone down and walk away. And it takes some getting used to. I promise you it takes some getting used to. But you will. Because I'm used to it. My phone can be anywhere in this house. Sometimes it's in my purse and I don't see it for hours at a time. And I'm okay with that. When I go get it, if I miss some calls, send me a text. When I get to it, I'll respond. And then we can have our whole text conversation if you are available. And if you're not, I can't be mad. I can't be upset. I can't be, sitting on the soapbox like, oh, they text me. I text them back. They didn't respond. Because maybe their phone is sitting down somewhere and they're moving around about their house doing some things that they need to be doing. When they get ready and they get their phone back in their hand, they will absolutely respond. Learning to put yourself first, learning to have some patience when it comes to a lot, learning that no is a complete sentence, and establishing and implementing healthy boundaries. I'm telling you, it's a game changer, and it will bring so much peace to you. It will bring so much peace to you having healthy boundaries. Saying no to somebody else, again, isn't being mean or malice. It's just saying yes to you. It's just saying, I have something else that I want to do, something else that I can do, something else that I will do, and I just can't show up for you today. Sit in that. You don't have to show up for everybody every time at all times. It is absolutely not a requirement. So what I will leave you with today, I hope that you have a super fantastic Saturday on purpose. I hope that you take some time for you intentionally. 5 minutes, 15 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour, multiple hours, doesn't matter. And if you want, set your timer on your phone. The phones are pretty loud, right? If you have your ringer on and you have it turned all the way up, you can do that. Me personally, I don't do that. Because when you're constantly in meetings and talking to people, you don't want your phone to be a disturbance. So my phone is never loud. But when you set your alarms, the alarms are loud on purpose, right? So set you an alarm for 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 30, an hour, a couple of hours. To do whatever it is that you need to sit in it for yourself. Do whatever it is you need so that you can take some time for you. Once you become one with you and people are asking things of you, you can show up. And you'll do it out of love. And you'll do it happily. The responses from you and your body will be so much different when you respond from a place of gratitude, love, and kindness when people are asking things of you. But you can't do that if you haven't put you first. You can't do that if you're not setting in your I'm taking care of me first. You can't do that if you haven't established and implemented your healthy boundaries. You can't do that if you haven't learned how to say no and know that no is a complete sentence. Have a super fantastic Saturday. Thank you for joining me live. Thank you for watching a replay. And in the comments, whether you're watching live or watching a replay, share with me. What are you going to sit in today to take care of you? Whether it's absolutely nothing, going to sit at a coffee shop, going to the mountain like LB, what are you going to do today? I look forward to hearing from you. I'll see you soon. Let's have a super fantastic day on purpose.